All right, we're on to lesson 3, which only has one tutorial, and that's just primarily showing you how to navigate through the various workspaces. You're going to identify UI elements in the different workspaces, and UI stands for user interface, and it's the interface that you interact with within Fusion. All right, so open the reciprocating saw. First step, I still have my simple cube open, so I'll just exit that. File, open, or you can just click Command O. So let's try Command O. Reciprocating saw. Taking a second to load. Here we are. Okay. Fusion360 has different workspaces to accomplish various goals. Okay. So I can go over that. This here where it says design in the upper left-hand corner, that is showing that we are in the design workspace. And you can click on this to see the other workspaces. Generative design, that allows you to kind of see revisions kind of historically. Render allows you to make really realistic versions or renderings of your design. Animation, this is really helpful if you want to show how like a really complex assembly comes together and maybe even how it functions. So like in here, there's a bunch of gears being shown. And I'd imagine that animation shows not only how they come together, but also how they work. So if you rotate one, how the others also rotate. Simulation is a super helpful tool, and it's FEA analysis for thermal stress within a component, as well as mechanical stresses. You can define loads, how different joints are fixed, and then analyze how the part will perform in any given environment. Then there's manufacture, the manufacturing workspace, which is a CAM workspace, computer-aided manufacturing. And that allows you to kind of create and design tool paths to physically make the part that you've designed. I've never really used this within Fusion anyway, but they do have a workspace for that. And drawing, which to be honest, I have never used drawing either. So that's a little bit of a foreign concept to me. You can see that some of these, generative design and simulation, those are both off limits to people with the free version or the hobbyist version of Fusion. You have to buy the subscription in order to use those. And then I think it's like on like a cost per rendering basis on in terms of how they how you have to pay for that product. So for example, like each simulation might cost, X amount of dollars. So we won't be using simulation or generative design, but we can go ahead and click into one of these. And we aren't going to do a whole bunch with this, but you can see the environment changes a little bit, and then you can go in and there's different tools to interact with your part, and you can still use the same functions as before. So like shift, or some of the same like hotkeys. So I can click like shift, scroll button to rotate about it, and it just makes it look a little bit more realistic within render. You might get like a nice screenshot or something for your website if you're trying to market a product based off of this workspace here. Animation, we already kind of chatted about. I would say, take a second to pop in and out of all of these, and you can kind of take a look at what the workspace offers. I'm not going to do anything with this part here unless they tell us to. Render, okay. Photorealistic images of your design, we mentioned that. Um, Animation, it allows you to create exploded views of your model. So again, an exploded view is going to show you how parts come together in like an assembly. Manufacture, simulation. We don't have access to the simulation workspace. Manufacture, I don't know that we have. Oh, we do. So again, depending on what type of manufacturing, you're going to be using milling, turning, additive. That's something we're going to be doing. 3D printing is additive manufacturing, or it's a type of additive manufacturing. You can go in and kind of simulate how this thing is going to be built. Cool. Pretty short, brief tutorial. Really all it's doing is it's making you aware of the different design environment or the different workspaces. For the class, we are solely going to be working in the design space. We're not going to be working in any of the others. But I would suggest, if you're interested in them, find your own tutorial on those specific workspaces and, learn the tools and functions within them.